All right, this morning I am at the Volunteer Trail in Long Hunter State Park. Also with Lola. She's joining me today. Volunteer Trail is kind of tricky to find if you're not real familiar with the area. It's on Long Hunter State Park. The main section of Long Hunter is on one side of Hobson Pike. So on the other side in the neighborhood is this trail. It's about a 11-mile out and back, so 5.5 miles out and 5.5 miles back. I've done it before. I think it might be a little longer than that, but who knows. It's a pretty flat trail, so we're just going to take a walk. We're not going to do the whole thing today, but just beautiful forest, lots of cedars, other trees, lots of hardwoods, lots of cedars. It pretty much, even though you can't see it now, pretty much follows along the shoreline of the Percy Priest Lake. So pretty cool trail, relatively flat. We'll probably, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 miles today. But yeah, I forgot to add that it's one of the few places around here you can primitive camp, even though I'm not a camper, but it is at the end of this trail there's a little primitive campsite. So anyway, Lola's obviously having to mark her territory on everything, so all right. Don't remember if I said this, but Long Hunter State Park, of course, is in Nashville. Well, very close to Nashville. That's where I live, so yeah, I forgot to throw that in there. It's kind of muggy today. It's not really hot, it's overcast, but very, very humid. These are our first views of Percy Priest Lake. We're going to see a lot of it. Like I said, we're going to be right along the shore. Percy Priest, of course, is it's a reservoir. It's formed by the Percy Priest Dam on the Stones River. So, if you know anything about your Civil War history, there is a famous battlefield in the Stones River in Murfreesboro. So. A little confused. Lots of rocks. So I forgot that there is of course, like I said at the beginning, the Volunteer Trail, the 5.5 mile out and back, or 11 mile out and back, 5.5 there, 5.5 back. Forgot there's a day loop trail. So that's what we're gonna do today, 3.8 miles. It's gonna take us a while. Lola likes to smell everything. right about a mile in. This is one of those areas where, like I was talking about at the beginning, there's a lot of cedars. A lot. So, just thinking about, I don't really talk a lot on my videos, so just thinking about what am I doing with these videos? What's the purpose? I don't really know. I love watching hiking videos on YouTube. I like to watch the thru hikers. I think maybe live vicariously through them. I'm not really a thru hiker. Not really closed off to the idea, but it's not ever really been my thing. I guess I'm more of a day hiker. But really more than that, just like to move. Here, you can hear my watch telling me it's been a mile now. But more than hiking, I like to just move. So that's, over something I've sort of discovered about myself in the last 10 years or so. But good job, Lola. But I've gone through phases of I like to run, I like to walk, I like to hike. So just all those different things. I've ran a couple half marathons, lots of 5Ks, 10Ks. And I go through spells where I'm really into running, but I like to hike. I like to be outside, I like to move my feet. So I guess the point of all this is that I just want to document my hikes. Go back and be able to look and see the things that I've seen. Maybe in my memory I forget, and then put them on YouTube. And if anybody else enjoys it, that's great. If not, that's okay too. I'm not really trying to become a YouTuber. Just posting videos of my hikes. So that's what I'm doing. It's very pretty and calm out here. This is not quite the dramatic sweeping landscapes of my first 3 videos when I was out in South Dakota and Wyoming, but there's beauty everywhere. I firmly believe that any nature is beautiful, even just desolate, dark places. But it's beautiful forest. So I guess for me too, there's a element of spirituality to being in nature, just being away from man-made things and just being in God's creation. It's pretty nice. Like I said, I'm not quite prepared to be a thru hiker to camp. I do like to be able to go home and get in my bed. So, yeah. But I live in Nashville. This is one of my favorite Nashville area hikes. It's easy, and you're in the woods, and it's close to where I live. There's some good ones in Nashville, and I'll probably post some over, the next few months. It's a hot time to be hiking though. Middle of June, very humid. That's all right. I prefer the heat over the cold for sure. Probably about time to stop and give Willa some water, huh? So here are things that you don't expect to see while hiking in Tennessee. That's a prickly pear cactus. Huh. I've done the longer trail here before, and I remember now seeing cactus. It's very interesting. All the way out in Middle Tennessee. Who knew? So apparently prickly pear cactus are just right at home here in this park. Because of the cedar trees that I talked about earlier, there are cedar glades. I'm really gonna mess this up, so I'm gonna do my best to explain it. It's really thin soil, and it's able to absorb lots of sunlight. So it's actually kind of a ideal place for prickly pear. And they're very, very, they're able to grow lots of places. So not as uncommon as I thought. Still, you don't expect to see cactus growing in the middle of Tennessee. You expect to see it in more of a desert-like environment. As you can hear, we're really close to the lake, and there's a lot of people out having fun. But this is cool. All right, so we're connecting back with the trail here. Looks like we're about 1.4 miles from the trailhead. Let's go this way, Lola. She wants to keep going. She really wants to go that way, but we're not going that way. That's another 4 miles. A little tricky right here. I think Lola has chosen wrong. Okay, gotta get her down these rocks. Well, coming up on the end of the trail, I can see one vehicle and others. Looks like it's going to be about 3.85 miles, so pretty accurate signing and everything. About 424 total, 424 feet total elevation gain. A lot of ups and downs, but nothing like really steep, so not too bad elevation gain at all. Yeah, Rose had a good time. She's tired. She is ready for some more water. Thanks for watching.